You ever have one of those nights where you're just trying to mind your own business, keep your head down, and the universe comes knocking cold, loud, and absolutely inconvenient? That was me, Derry Jackson, on a night when the wind could slice right through your bones and you'd swear even the streetlights were shivering. My life, if you can call it that, was about as low profile as you could get. A 50-year-old mechanic with more regrets than friends, running a faded garage on Ashburn Avenue, the kind of place where hope moved out a long time ago. People around here, they remember everything, and if you've ever screwed up, they don't let you forget. Especially if you look like me. Yeah, I made mistakes, a felony on my record, the whole nine, but that was a lifetime ago. Didn't matter. Folks still crossed the street when they saw me. Kids wouldn't trick or treat at my door. Even my cat seemed like she was doing me a favor sticking around. Anyway, I was just closing up shop, wiping grease off my hands and thinking about what canned soup I'd settle for, when I caught a flicker of movement outside. At first, I figured it was just a stray, maybe someone sleeping off a bottle on that busted bench across the street, nothing I hadn't seen before. But this shape was different. Smaller. Fragile, almost. I paused in the doorway, went nipping through the holes in my gloves, and I just watched, waiting for some instinct to tell me to keep walking. But there's a thing about silence, it changes right before the world goes sideways. I crossed the street, careful, and that's when I saw him. A kid 6, maybe 7, blonde hair all tangled up, wrapped in nothing but a thin hoodie and sneakers that were barely holding together. He was curled up so tight under that bench, shaking so hard I thought he might rattle apart. When he spotted me, he panicked, tried to scramble, but his legs just wouldn't work. I crouched down, keeping my hands where he could see. "Hey, kid, I'm not gonna hurt you. You hear me?" He didn't say a word. Couldn't, I'd realize later. Just those wild, darting eyes, half here, half somewhere else entirely. I should have walked away, should have minded my business. God knows, I'd have fewer problems, but I couldn't. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta do the right thing, even if the whole world's waiting for you to mess up. I carried him inside. He weighed almost nothing, and wrapped him in blankets, sat him by my stubborn old space heater. He didn't relax, not really. But he stopped shaking, and after a few minutes, I tried giving him some cocoa. Didn't touch it. He just sat, silent, staring at the floor, like words had been taken from him. That's when I noticed the bruises, old and new, a nasty red mark around his wrist like something had been tied too tight. My stomach dropped. You see enough in life, you learn to recognize the signs, and none of them are good. I wanted to call the cops. I really did. But here's the thing, guys like me, we don't get the benefit of the doubt. They'd see a black mechanic with a record and a silent, beat-up kid in his garage at night, and you know how that story goes. But leaving him there, doing nothing? I couldn't. So I paced, tried to think, tried not to let the fear show on my face. And then, this is the part that gets me, this kid, he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a button, tiny and black with a weird little symbol on it. Offers it to me like it's a clue in a mystery novel, not a cry for help. Suddenly, I knew there was more going on here than just a runaway. This was bigger, darker. So I did the only thing I could. I called child services. Kept it short, stuck to the facts. Found a kid. Won't talk. Might be hurt. I gave my name, my real one, and waited. Heart thumping so loud I thought the boy would hear it. The wait nearly killed me. I fed him some instant soup, tried to keep things calm. Finally, I hear a knock, 3 taps, then quiet. 2 people, one in uniform, one in plain clothes with a badge, came in. The woman, she was gentle, trained for this kind of thing. And when she spoke to the boy, there was something in her tone that made me feel like maybe, just maybe, I'd done the right thing. Turns out, they'd been looking for him, Nathan. His name was taken from Pennsylvania, missing for days. That button? Some kind of evidence. When they told me I might have saved his life, I didn't know what to say. I just stood there, feeling like the ground had shifted under my boots. They took Nathan with them, the boy letting out a sound, barely a whisper, but enough to make me realize how long he'd been silent. Before they left, the woman said, "You did the right thing." Not everybody would have. And maybe that was true, but it didn't feel heroic. It felt like standing on the edge of a cliff and choosing not to jump. After they left, the garage was quiet in a new way. Like some curse had lifted. I sat there for hours, not really sleeping, just waiting for the dawn. Didn't expect thanks, didn't expect anything. But the next morning, right as I was nursing my first coffee, 2 black SUVs pull up. My heart nearly stopped. Old habits, I guess. Out stepped Nathan's parents and a government agent. No reporters, no fuss. The mom's holding lilies, the dad's carrying a wrapped frame. She handed me the flowers, thanked me with this raw, trembling voice, and I just stood there, not sure where to look. Then she gave me the frame, Nathan, laughing, sunshine everywhere. I could have cried right there in the cold. The dad tried to hand me an envelope. I almost refused, but he stopped me. It's not money, he said. We want to help fix up this place. Rewire the lights, fix the roof, make it right. Because you matter. This place matters. I couldn't argue. Contractors showed up, fixed the things I couldn't, gave the garage a new coat of paint. Someone even added a sign under my name because kindness is a choice. People started to notice. Not everyone, not right away, but enough. A lady brought muffins. A teenager helped shovel the walk. Little things, you know? And then, one afternoon, Nathan himself came by, cheeks pink, bundled up, holding a yellow smiley button. Didn't say a word, just pressed it into my hand and hugged me. Tight. I hugged him back, feeling the world click into place just for a second. After they left, I sat there, the shop quiet but full, turning that button over and over. Used to think being invisible was safer. But sometimes, showing up for someone else is the only way to prove you're really alive. So here's the thing, yeah, one night changed everything. Not because I wanted to be a hero or wipe away my past, but because I decided to stop being afraid of the wrong things. If you ever find yourself at a crossroads, between the easy way out and the right thing to do, maybe remember this. Kindness, even when it's risky, even when you think no one's looking, has a way of coming back around. Sometimes, it rebuilds more than you ever lost. I want to know, where do you draw the line between caution and compassion? When does your past stop defining who you get to be? Let's talk about it. Drop your thoughts below, right and wrong, justice, what you'd do in my shoes. Because the truth is, we all get that one moment to choose. And what we do next, that's the real story.